This came from an opinion piece in the Los Angeles Times a number of years ago. It's an engineering professor from the University of Southern California. His name is Bart Costco. And back when the United States was, they were talking about funding faith programs through the government. And this guy got in a huff, and he wanted to give us a little bit of a lecture on faith. And he says, look, you got to understand something. Faith, and here's his definition, is unwarranted belief. Faith is belief without evidence or despite evidence to the contrary. Faith occurs when a person believes that something is true even though he suspects it's false. It takes large doses of such faith to support the very existence of casinos, psychic hotlines, astrology columns, mall Santas, and most organized religions. Do you see a problem with the way we use the word faith in the church?
Well, frankly, no, Craig. I think I see a problem in the way the atheist community uses the word faith. That is the definition in my interaction with unbelievers that many of them have, is they think that faith is believing something that you really know isn't true, and that somehow you believe it anyway. And this is simply not the way believers use the word faith. I think the best definition I heard of faith is trusting in what you have good reason to think is true. That's what I would define faith as. Faith is trusting in that which you have good reason to think is true. And there's no conflict in that case between reason and faith. You have good reason to think it's true, and therefore you put your confidence and trust in it. And anyone can define words how he wants. So if that's what the unbeliever wants to talk about faith, then I'll say, well, then what I'm talking about is schmaith. And I have schmaith in God, which is trusting in what I have good reason to believe in true, and I don't have what you mean by faith. And you just get into a word game in that case. That the point is we're not using words with the same meaning. We're not talking the same vocabulary. And so in his sense of faith, I reject that.